So in this video we're going over an OWASP Top 10 vulnerability, and that is hard-coded credentials. So this is something that you can look for when testing IoT devices, and something you can even do if you follow this video. So I'm only doing this because this has been patched in the newer releases, so it's no longer a vulnerability on this device. But you can find the firmware for this device. If you select an older firmware, like 2022, 2024, this vulnerability is present. It's been removed in the latest patch, so you won't be able to do it anymore since then. But if you were to just download one of these, you'll be able to unzip it and use binwalk to open up the firmware. So I'm going to go over how we can do that now. So you can see here, after I downloaded the file, we have the zip file here. So I can just unzip that file. And once we do so, we'll get a bin file, and we will get some PDFs about how to upgrade the firmware and stuff, but we don't really need to pay attention to any of that. So what we're going to look at is this bin file, and using binwalk, we can do tech ME and select that bin file. And this is going to recursively extract the information out of the bin file. So now if we run ls, we'll see we have the extracted files here, and we can cd into these, and we'll see the squashfs root, which is the root file system. If we cd into that, we'll get a little Linux file system. So we're looking for hard-coded credentials. So in Linux, that's usually in the etc folder, etc, because that's where the shadow file would be, and that usually contains hard-coded credentials or password hashes. So if we go into the etc folder, we can ls, and we don't see a shadow folder. But what we do is see is password and password.bak. So if we were to cat the password.bak, we will get a password hash, the admin password hash. So if we were to take this hash, we can use some tools that I'm going to show in the next step and see how we can identify the hash and how we can crack this hash. So here back in my folder where I have the files, the bin, I've created a hash.txt file. If I cat this, you can see we have the password hash here. So what we can do is we can use a tool such as hashid, and we can use this if we give it our file and see what type of hash it is. So right now it believes it's some sort of MD5 hash. If we pass it the tacm, we'll get the modes for hashcat, and now we'll know what mode to input into hashcat so that we can crack this hash. So we'll go over hashcat and how we can use that and what word list I used. So now with hashcat, we know the mode, which is 500. We know the attack mode. We want to do a dictionary attack, which is 0. We want our hash.txt. And then personally, I just used the RockU word list that came with Kali Linux. And if we start it up, it will run. And you can see almost instantly it was cracked. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So a very simple hash. This is what came straight out of the firmware. So this is something you can look for when looking into IoT devices. This obviously could have been brute forced as well, but this is just an example of a dictionary attack. And yeah, just be weary of these things when you're looking through IoT devices, as they can be an easy finding and help you unlock other parts of the device by getting credentials. So that's all for today. Stay ethical.